sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Day one is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Training camp, we're going to talk about it and so much more. So much information came out. Also, spoken to someone who was actually there. Usually I have like 3 people I could reach out to, only spoke to one, to give you some inside information on what happened in training camp today. Honestly, based off of what came out with a lot of the beat writers, it's not much, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 things. There's not much inside information. All of it was pretty clear cut today. We're going to talk about that. So shout out to the Mod Squad. I see y'all in the building, and shout out to all the members of the channel. What up, Milky? I see you. Horsey Head in the building. Fins up. Marino's GOAT in the house. Pete's Take, the homie. Glenn, what's up, man? How you doing, Glenn? I'm glad to see you rocking with us. What time is it? After 2 p.m. today. Again, hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. In the last 2 days, we've added like 30 subscribers, so we got new family members tuning in as well. So punch that like button. Again, spread the word. Let other people know about the channel as we grow on our way to 26,000. We're trying to get to 30,000 this year. One step at a time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah, I will be doing Omar's stock up, stock down, and his takes from the day. It looks like with everyone's reports, he has the most detail that I like. So I will be going over those. I retweeted most of the things that I want to cover, so I have a lot to cover. in today's stream. Also, I'm trying to give you as much exclusive content for training camp as I possibly can. I already have the Miami Dolphins training camp date secured. I'm trying to see about potentially going to Houston for the joint practices. So if you want to donate to that cause, the Cash App, $TDPHINSTALK at the bottom of the screen. Appreciate those who have already dropped a few bucks on the occasion. So if we get enough, I'll be able to make it out to the Houston training camp. And that way I can give you all the exclusive coverage and not, the watered down versions that aren't allowed to really talk about, so much. Shout out to Glenn for gifting a membership. Membership, you could be a lucky recipient. Let me allow the gift first of all. Give me a second. I didn't know I had to allow the gifts. So yeah, so Miami Everything 305 was gifted a membership by Glenn Paliker this month. So congratulations. Enjoy it. And thank you for being a member of the channel. All right. And thanks, Glenn. I really do appreciate that. You can give people membership at the bottom of the screen as well. It's all kind of features. All right. But I'm about to dive in, but we already got 175 people in here, but we only got 48 likes. So we got to get these 100 likes. Let's go ahead and get it up. All you got to do is hit it once, and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the stream. So punch the like button. Let's go ahead and get it up now. Okay. Let's get it up now. Elizabeth said, you are better than Omar, TD. I don't like to look at myself being better than anyone. Everybody has different jobs. I do what Omar does is different from what I do. Omar's covering the team as a writer for SI and all of that. He's making his articles and trying to report what he can. And, he also has to make sure that he stays in the right graces with the team so that he can continue to have the access to be able to, be present when people like me aren't. So, you got to understand, I've gotten to a point where I don't like the limited information that they can provide, but at the same token, you have to respect their walking the line to balance it, to make sure that they're not getting in bad graces with the organization where they blackball them and, get them out of there, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, but y'all already know me. I'm going to give you my real take. I'm going to break it all down, let you know what I think about everything. And without further ado, I think this is a perfect time, perfect opportunity to go ahead and dive in. Mike Tremoli, thanks for the $5 in the Cash App, said towards training camp. Thank you so much, brother. Again, anybody who wants to donate to the channel, you can go through the Cash App or through the Super Chat. But Cash App, I get right away, and they don't take as much. So just FYI. All right, we got 200 people here. Do we got 100 likes yet? 70 likes. Y'all ain't got to be lazy on me. I want to dive into this content as soon as possible. But if you enjoy the content and the exclusive content, then come on, man. Hurry up and hit that like button so we can go ahead and get started. Sorry, the little one doing his chores, getting all the trash out of the house. TD, let's pray before we start. Oh, that's what's up, man. I like that. Dear Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for bringing everyone together today, everyone who isn't here yet but will be watching this stream. We ask that you rain down blessings upon everyone's lives, even those who aren't watching this stream and never will watch the stream. We just ask that you just cast a shadow upon the earth in general, God, especially with this heat, all this extra heat. But at the end of the day, we're so grateful to be here, to even be breathing, to be able to watch this stream. And we're greatly appreciative. In your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Thanks for asking, Milky. That's what's up. What's up, TD? It's been a while. How are you and the family? Go Bills. We're great. We're great. The family's doing phenomenal. It's about to be rip and run time because next week, we got school. Next week, we got all this travel because of me with training camp and all of that. It's about to get hectic. It's about to get hectic. That's why I tell y'all know I never on this channel, hey, donate. Hey, but if you ever do want to donate, this the time. All this traveling and stuff. So, I always tell you, I got 6 kids, so my money got to go to my money. But again, school already. Yeah, school already, man. These kids start school next week. Next at the end of the week or something like that, which is weird. Schools be starting like that. All right, we need 5 more likes and we'll get started. All right, 221 people in the building, 5 more likes. Let's go ahead and hit it. And let's get started. All right, let me pull up my timeline because I retweeted a lot of the information that happened in camp today. So forgive me if we get recycled information if I repeat something more than once. All right, appreciate everybody who hit that like button. We're officially over 100. Okay, give me a second. I'll be ready to roll in just one moment. All right. Okay, let's start here. This is a tweet that I did yesterday because I want to comment on every tweet and retweet because I wanted to touch it, but I did want to touch this retweet. No, I'm gonna do it where it's relevant. I'll do it where it's relevant. Let's see here. Give me a second. Nice boy. BJ. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. First and foremost, I want to address a few things first. Isaiah Wynn hurt himself training to get ready for the season. I got to be honest with y'all up front now. I'm starting to get very concerned already about the offensive line situation. Isaiah Wynn already hurt. Teron Armstead, it was confirmed today with Mike McDaniel that he did have his knee cleaned out. I'm not worried about him not practicing in training camp because that's normal for Teron Armstead. But I just don't like lingering things, even though that's something that it's done and now he, wants to fully recover from it. It's tough because what did McDaniel say last year with Byron Jones? And right now he's saying Connor and Armstead, they're closest to being back or whatever it may be. I can't. We learned our lesson from Byron Jones last year. We're not going to listen to nothing Mike McDaniel say. At the end of the day, he always going to be hopeful that they're close to being back, but he don't know. Only people that could tell you when they're close to being back are the players. Because they could walk in the building the next day and say, I tweaked it or I still don't feel 100, and it is what it is. So, with Wynn being hurt, and let's get another thing straight too. This ain't nothing new. Wynn got hurt all the time with New England. But I don't know why we walking around here acting like Isaiah Wynn was like this top player or something. And, I'll move on. But I am a little worried about the O-line. Okay. We'll see if anyone emerges in camp because we're going to need them to. But we're going to keep our eyes on this O-line situation because I'm going to be honest, Chris Greer might have to do something. He's going to have to figure something out and make a move, make a deal. It's just funny, though, because if he does make a move and make a deal for a veteran and he give him a little bit of money, will that upset Connor? And we're going to talk about what McDaniel said about Connor today and what Connor said about the situation. So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to keep our eyes posted on this O-line situation, all right? Now, there was also a report yesterday that came out that the Miami Dolphins reportedly tried to trade for Saquon Barkley. Man, this running back situation is just getting weirder and weirder every day. Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, and the way that McDaniel and the running backs in Miami right now are talking as if, man, we good with the guys we got. We ain't really trying to get nobody else. So it's just very interesting what we're hearing, okay? Also, McDaniel said in his presser, sobriety helped his life. I wanted to talk about that real quick when he said sobriety helped his life. And I'm not trying to get into a preaching mode, but when he said that, it struck it struck with me because a lot of people, they chastise people about their past. McDaniel, he was alcoholic, and this is documented. This ain't nothing new under the sun. And people struggle with their past, but he's a perfect example of not letting your past define your future. Something you struggle with right now in your life can be the very thing that elevates you, that helps you. And I'm gonna be honest, that's how God works in many cases. Why can't you deliver me from this, God? Maybe he doesn't want to deliver you from it because he knows that you going through what you're going through is going to make you the person in the future who he actually wants you to be and who you need to be and what's best for you. Why wouldn't you save me from this? If you're real, why would you do this? It's all a part of his plan. And McDaniel, with an acknowledgement that sobriety helped his life, that's how things work. This is why I encourage men and women alike that watch this show. Everybody has their stresses in life, their anxieties, their depressions, their everything. People have those things that they're struggling with. Just remember, trouble don't last always, and these things sometimes are designed to just put you in your actual purpose. So shout out to Mike McDaniel, continuing to be a better man in life, continuing to improve upon himself, and recognizing that his downfalls were actually setting him up for his rise. So salute to him. And that's why I root for Mike McDaniel. I'm actually a huge fan of Mike McDaniel. I try my best to be critical of him, but I'm a huge fan of him. Moving along, Mike McDaniel also said, excited to see Tua master the offensive language. Offensive languages can be very complex. I told y'all they made everything basic last year. It was a basic offense, basic terminology, because it's school. It's school. And they don't go to the next subject until they get you to master the one that you're in. And now McDaniel is excited of that next step for Tua. And he was very specific on mastering the offensive language because that's a part of the communication. That's a part of the signals. That's a part of the calls, the reads, and how you communicate them with your teammates to open up bigger and better possibilities. So I'm also excited of what that's going to look like for Tua. Will he be able to grasp it and run with it, or will it be a struggle? It doesn't matter either way to me, because at the end of the day, it tells me that he's graduating to the next step, the next level. That's what's more important than anything. Okay. And it's hard, y'all. It ain't easy. NFL terminology. I know it's just a terminology, but it's not easy. It can change depending on personnel and everything. And you got to know it all. You got to know the calls, the signals for everybody, every player. You have to know it all. Pre-snap defense showing one thing right before you hike the ball. They're shifting in another and you hold it up. Hold on. All of that. And being able to get your team in and out of the right play. This is graduating year, and he got a pass. And I'm excited to see if, he gets over that hump, because if he does, it's going to be huge for his long term so he can get that big old check like Herbert got. Time will tell. We'll see. All right. Number 3 said, disappointed in Tyreek Hill for legal incident, says NFL is still investigating. This is why I tell y'all, stop listening to these people that's just trying to make you feel better about everything. I've been spot on since day one. I told y'all from day one, this is a bigger issue than they making it seem with the Tyreek thing. They made it seem like slap, nothing, everybody go on, don't talk about it no more. No, this is a bigger issue. And Tyreek also confirmed today that the NFL is still investigating. Then they asked, do you think there'll be any criminal charges? He doesn't know, because just because you settled it civilly, once again, the door is still open for the district attorney to say, you know what, I'm going to bring charges. Me personally, I don't think the district attorney is going to bring charges. I'm more worried about the NFL. I'm like right there on that cusp. Maybe the NFL drops it. Maybe they don't. We don't know. But what we did know from day one, and I told y'all, this guy's going to sue Tyreek Hill, but if Tyreek and his team smart, they better settle it and let it be done, because it makes the other elements more favorable. Tyreek settling with this guy makes it more favorable for the district attorney. They still could bring charges, but maybe they won't now. It makes it more favorable for the NFL. And they still can discipline him, or maybe they won't now. Or maybe it influences whatever discipline to a lesser degree. But we already knew this was going to be settled. This wasn't going to be dragged out of no court with no jury. And nobody was ever worried about that. Why would we? That's his money, his consequence. We were only ever concerned about criminal charges and the NFL more than anything from a suspension standpoint. And as we've been saying, those two elements are still out there in the open. And in my personal opinion, I don't think anything will come from the district attorney's office. This will be, eventually they'll make a statement that they won't be pursuing charges. Right now, the statement first the statement is going to be we won't be pursuing at this time. Then a few months later, they'll say they've closed that. They won't be pursuing charges at all. But the real, come on, NFL, hurry up and make a decision on what you want to do, so we know we ain't got time to have that hanging over our head. For McDaniel to say, the NFL is still investigating and we've been in constant communication with them. And for Tyreek to say, I'm fully cooperating with the NFL. I don't know what to think. Neither should anyone. And as a Dolphin fan, we hope it just blows over. But we don't know. But all these people keep out here selling the fact that, it's over. Everything is cleared. No discipline from the NFL or nothing. What are you talking about? Oh, TD, you were wrong. There's nothing coming from. What are you talking about? Like, can some of y'all read? Come on, man. Let's be adults about it. Now I will say this. The only thing that listen, first of all, I've been reported if discipline does happen, it'll be next year because these things take a while. But I'm starting to get nervous because I'm starting to feel like this one may not take as long as everything else. Because everything is cut dry. They already have the footage. Tyreek's already resolved it. The NFL has all the information. Tyreek is already explaining them everything that happened. The Dolphins have been in constant communication. The ball has already rolled, and the truth be told, it ain't much more information the NFL can get at this point. They may interview one or two more people, but there ain't much more information they can get at this point. And I feel like whatever they decide to do, I am nervous that it's going to be handed down or disregarded right before the regular season. For some reason, I'm having this feeling of nervousness that, hopefully it does get disregarded. But if something get handed down, I just keep on getting this little feeling it's going to happen right before week 1. Because there's nothing to truly wait on for the NFL. You don't have to be charged for the NFL to go ahead and give their ruling. All they want to know is if you violated the personal code of conduct. Usually if you charge, that's proof you were. But in this case, they have video. So they don't need him to be charged. Just like Deshaun Watson's information. They say the NFL was waiting to see if he would be charged. No, they weren't, because they dropped both cases and they still came down on him. And I'm gonna be honest, if they come down with something right before the season, man, they hate us. They got a personal vendetta against us. I ain't got nothing to prove that, but that's how I feel. How convenient. Because I'm going to tell you now, that would screw us up going through a whole camp, getting some chemistry right, and all that. Tyreek finally know the full playbook, and all of a sudden, bam, 2 games you ain't going to have them or something like that. And we need them. We need them. We need them. But time will tell. Time always tells. So we don't know. He could still be hit hard, or they could just let it go. Time will tell. All right. Let's move on. McDaniel also talked about how the 5-game losing streak last year bonded this team for this season. Out of everything McDaniel said, I loved and I'm in total agreement with, except the last one. We don't know that. We don't know what that 5-game losing streak did from a bonding standpoint this year until we see them on the field bonding. Until we see you come out the gate 3-0 or 2-1 or something like that. Because you come out that gate and you lose some games, ain't nobody gonna feel like that losing streak bonded the team. It's just that they're gonna feel like it's more of the same, and they figured us out. The roughest part of our schedule is the last 6 games. But that first chunk of games is gonna be very telling for the team. So important. It's going to be very interesting. All right. Next up, Mike McDaniel said this, and I loved it because I got in arguments on this channel with many people about this in the past. We got an argument. I've gotten arguments with people on this channel about scheme fits. And I'm the type of person that lives under the premise that great coaches don't care about scheme fit. Great coaches only focus on creating a scheme that gets the most out of all their players. That's what great coaches do. A coach may have a scheme, but if the personnel doesn't fit that scheme, then you don't run that scheme. You create a scheme that maximizes your personnel. And, some people, coaches want scheme specific and all of that. Well, Mike McDaniel said this, and I loved it. He said, anytime your players change at all your scheme, anytime your players change at all, your scheme should change. Thank you. McDaniel said. Last year, you're putting forth scheme, not totally knowing what your players do best. The offseason, you can structure it more and tailor it to your players because you know what they do best. This is why I love McDaniel. I have critical things to say about him at times, but this is why I actually support him and I love him, because this is great coach talk. This is what I've always said. Any coach that says this is my scheme, that's why I get nervous about the Fangio situation, because Fangio has a scheme. And when he came out on the press conference, he said, we got some players, but, we got to find the rest. And this is why I argue with people about Flores. You don't have to like Flores. You can hate Flores all you want. And Flores had his faults. But I'm sorry, just like Mike McDaniel, when it came to defense, Flores didn't have a scheme. He created with his coach's scheme. Why do I say that? Remember when Flores first started, it was a whole bunch of zone and all of that stuff, but we were getting ate up. Flores is not a zero blitz coach. We created that title for him, y'all. He didn't do that mess in New England like that. We created that title. Why? Because Flores' defense was not good, And they continued to struggle. So what did he do? He created a defense that utilized everybody's strengths. And he realized, I have to be more of a blitz package team for this defense to actually get the most out of it based off the personnel. Flores, and now all of a sudden Flores loves the blitz. His scheme is a zero. I've seen Flores in interviews when people say, you bring, even in Minnesota, you bring this zero blitz package and, that signature to your name. And he got this awkward look like, I like to blitz, but, he even feels awkward about it because he knows I only did that because we had to. That's not my true identity. We just never had the full personnel to operate my true identity. But since we didn't have the personnel, this is what we got to do. And it worked. Those are great coaches. Believe it or not, same thing with offense. Whether you want to blame Tua or not, whether you want to blame the offensive line or not, whether you want to blame the receivers or not, the personnel that Flores had could not run this system like McDaniel had. We'd get obliterated every week. The offense would be, Tua wouldn't even be in the league anymore. He'd be hurt. Offensive. That's why Flores created, get the ball out right away, dinking and dunking, and short routes. He dinked and dunked because the O-line and the receivers going deep weren't that great. Flores created a system that at least made Tua not look like a train wreck. Y'all don't realize Tua had one of the highest completion percentages in the NFL under Flores because he created an offense that would make him look decent versus a train wreck. And then we say, oh, but McDaniel took him to a whole nother level. No, the talent around Tua now taking him to a whole nother level, because you'd be shocked to find if Flores had Armstead, Tyreek, and Connor, the offensive line now, they could do more. The weapons now, they could do more. This is why I know it's an unfair shake that people try to give Flores just to justify Tua. That's not how it works. Yes, Flores was dink and dunk because with the personnel on the team, he had to be. He had to be. So people would have rather him open up the offense and get to a kill and make them look worse with the receivers that we have. And instead, he said, no, I want to win. I want to win. Why else did he get fired? Because he chose to win instead of tank. It's that simple. So that's why I ask y'all all the time, for the people that be like, here we go with the Flores crap, you crazy. I always ask you this. Give Mike McDaniel Flores roster. You done lost your mind. You think we'd have won 9 games last year. You take Tyreek Hill, Connor Williams, and Teron Armstead away from this team last year. How many wins do we get with Mike McDaniel and Tua? Let me know in the comment section real quick. Take away Teron Armstead, take away Tyreek, and take away Connor. Just those. You can keep everybody else, whatever, running back and all. You can keep them all. But take those 3 away. Instead of 9 wins, how many do we have last year? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. You ain't getting over 7. We weren't going to get over 7. And the funny thing is, look at everybody in the comment section. Nobody has over 9. The first person put 9, second person, but everybody else 4, 5, 6, 7. Because y'all know what I'm saying is true. Y'all know what I'm saying is true, and that proves my point. That proves my point right there. So at the end of the day, this is why I love Mike McDaniel. Because he ain't gonna come in and saying, this is my scheme. Because truth be told, we're still not even running the San Francisco scheme the way they run it, the West Coast. We're not even running that fully. at all. And that proves to you right there, Mike McDaniel coming in looking at his person. This young guys, man. It tells me he's a real coach. Now, will he have the success? I don't know. We'll find out. But I know he's a real coach. He's a real coach. He's a real coach. All right. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, we already got that. We already have that. We covered that. Mike McDaniel on the return of Connor Williams. This is real quick. Mike McDaniel basically said Chris Greer's the bad guy. He's the good guy. Basically, Mike McDaniel telling Connor in constant communication, I want you here, man. I want you to get the money. I want you to have the deal, but it's out of my hands. I don't have control over that. All I can do is go up there and say, I need this man. Get it done. But they still have to decide. That's the conversation that's being had. He's telling Connor, you're valuable. We need you. I need you. I want you. Come to camp. We're going to keep on fighting for you. But at the end of the day, it's not my ultimate decision. That's on Chris Grier. The situation, we're trying to find money to pay multiple people, and Greer's trying to prioritize that. So, this is on him, not me. I just want you to know I got your back, though. I want you here. Those are the conversations that's being had. So Mike McDaniel has his back. And Connor also admitted that he held out because of his contract. All right, my bad, y'all. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. So Connor still won his money, but he liked McDaniel. McDaniel got him, to get to camp and stuff. They're gonna try to figure it out. No guarantees it'll happen. But they'll try to figure it out, man. We'll see. I think all these guys are gonna end up getting deals though. And it's gonna hurt our future, but I think he has to. Here's why. Do y'all realize we ain't really got nobody under contract next year on the O-line? Austin Jackson, a free agent. Robert Hunt would be a free agent. Connor would be a free agent. You don't win because you don't like Eichenberg. Armstead will be under contract, but you just got to take him a year at a time of if he's still going to be able to play. Any injury can be it for him. I mean, our whole O-line almost ain't under contract. So I think all these guys are going to get a deal. But see, here's the issue too. Chris Grier won't mind giving them more money this year. He don't mind giving Connor more money this year and a whole bunch of guys. But these guys are in line for long-term deals, and Chris Grier is in a situation he can't hamstring the future. Too many people got to get paid. It's getting nasty, man. Getting nasty. Let's keep it going. Sorry, y'all. Side note, I had retweeted this because it was interesting. Justin Herbert, he getting like $100 million in his first year, which is crazy. But he was able to reduce his 2024 cap number from 30 million down to 19. So next year he gave them relief. They probably gonna restructure again, but he gave them a lot of cap relief next year. Let me see. Look at this O-line right now in camp. Left tackle, Kendall Lamb. Left guard, Eichenberg. Center, Connor Williams, who is disgruntled. Right guard, Robert Hunt, who need his money too. And right tackle, Austin Jackson. Get well, Armstead, because we're going to need you back. I thought this one was funny. Josh Allen out here throwing picks. Mac Jones out here throwing picks. Aaron Rodgers finally got picked. All them guys got picked. And Tua didn't. Well, Tua threw an almost pick today. I was told by my guy, but the receiver did a good job breaking it up. Um, it was a short pass. Well, not sure it was out there, but it was underthrown and it was pretty much picked. But the receiver did a great job turning into the defender. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Patriots have confirmed they are in contact with Dalvin Cook. The Patriots ain't hiding it. Yeah, we talking with Dalvin Cook. We trying to figure something out to see if we can bring him. They ain't even keeping it hush. They said that it's Patriots confirmed that they have been in contact with the Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook. So he could end up there as well. Okay. Also, I retweeted because I told people Herbert taking an L in week 1 because they keep putting these funny memes up about him getting paid in 2 or not. Man, week 1 is important, man. It's important. We can't lose that game. I'm going to be honest. This team need to rally and get that game done for our quarterback because I'm calling it the redemption game because that will be the start to Tua's phenomenal season if he can get it done and play well and beat Herbert in that game. Shut everybody up and start the season off right. Because a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but could you imagine the first game looking like last year's Chargers game? I mean, you talk about a fan base immediately deflated. Let's just be honest. We'd immediately be deflated. Y'all can act like you want all you want and be like, it's just week 1. No, it's week 1 for them too. Immediate deflation. Gotta get it done. The stage is set. The stage is set, man. Get it done. All right. Now, Mike McDaniel talked about he's very interested to see the Tyreek Waddle versus Ramsey X. Look how much money they're making and all that. Do y'all know they only lined up against each other one time in the entire practice? And I think that was a X Tyreek, maybe. I got it written down. Only one snap where they went against each other in that combination. But I'll find it for you. Oh, here it is. Xavier Howard had a solid pass breakup against Tyreek Hill on a deep sideline pass from Tua. And from what I was told, that was another short, like underthrown ball. Jalen Waddle had an active practice, caught a Tua deep ball on Javon Holland on a pass that ricocheted up as the two battled for the ball as it initial high point. Sorry, I can't read today. That's the highlight all over Twitter. That was the highlight of the day, the highlight all over Twitter, which leads me into telling y'all what I was told today about practice. Underwhelming, boring. I don't know why that was used, but underwhelming and boring. Nothing impressive. And y'all already know we talk about, the quarterback to the receivers. And that's all 3 quarterbacks. Nothing impressive. Going through the motions almost. Now, mind you, it was a very short practice. Normal practices are like 4 times as long for like the work that they get in. It was short. So I'm chalking it to that. I was told a lot of underthrown balls. And when we say underthrown, it gets to the receiver, but the receiver's turning around or slowing down. And it's not just Tua. It was all the guys. All 3 of the guys. This isn't a Tua specific, what he ain't doing. That'll come when I go down there and see for myself. It's just an area where we gotta be better. We gotta lead these passes better. Now, mind you, on that deep ball that's all on Twitter to Waddle, where he batted it in the air and caught it anyway. That was a beautiful throw. Number one, let me get that straight now. I don't like the idea of leading that pass because, the safety was closing in. I think you could have gotten it over the top if you led it, but it would have been an incompletion because it was a beautiful pass. The issue I have with the pass is he wasn't open. He wasn't open at all. Going right back to what I keep telling you, the ball coming anyway. And the receivers got to make these plays. He had no separation on Waddle. Waddle had no separation on Javon Holland. And Javon Holland was all in his cavity, all in him. Even when the ball got there, his Javon Holland's back was in Waddle's chest with the arm up. It wouldn't even open. But the ball's coming anyway. So our receivers are going to make some big plays, or they're going to be some picks or some incompletions. But it's just tossed up. All right. Somebody said Cat Waddle caught it with his hands. Rewatch the tape. Well, what are you talking about? Nobody said he didn't catch it with his hands. I said Javon Holland's back was in Waddle's chest. And Waddle caught it with his hands because he batted it to himself and caught it. I never said Waddle didn't catch it with his hands. But yeah, TD, you tripping, bro. When other QBs make that pass, you say, look at the confidence. No. No. Any QB that throws that and the receiver catch it, it ain't no confidence. It's throwing Hail Marys. And if they catch it, great. It's not confidence. I don't say that's confidence. Now, you want to see confidence? Go look at what Aaron Rodgers over there throwing lead passes, and the guy catching it, and the defender can't do it. Can't do nothing. So now you good, H. I'm talking referring to the other comment. Y'all stop saying what I'll say about other quarterbacks until you show me saying it to other quarterbacks. Ain't no confidence. It's great defense. Risky pass that shouldn't have been thrown. Lucky it worked out in our favor. Because if Javon Holland would have got his hands in position, because that's the problem on the play for Holland. Holland just got in there to break it up. He did break it up, but Waddle tipped it to himself. But if Holland would have got his head around, if he would have picked that, analyze the play for me. What would you have said if Holland turned his head, saw it, and actually picked it? If he would have got it, what would you have said? Now all of a sudden, Tua shouldn't have thrown that. That was great coverage. You can't throw those. And the safety coming. It's basically double coverage. So just because it was caught, because Waddle hit it from one spot over Holland's hand to catch it in another, all of a sudden it was great. So y'all got to stop that mess. Call it how you see it. I can show you passes just like that. They got picked, and all y'all would say he shouldn't have never threw it. Why would he throw it? He was never open. So from a confidence standpoint, the only thing you could chuck it to is training camp. Take the shots. But we got to read the defense, though. We got to read the defense. You can't just live off of taking shots that are, look at PFF. Look at the turnover-worthy play category. Oh, we haven't gone over that yet. Y'all ain't see it. Tua has one of the most turnover-worthy plays in the NFL on the QB annual. And we'll break that down this evening whenever I go live. We'll continue on the QB annual, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a chart they have, deep throws versus turnover-worthy plays. And Tua's one of the highest percentages in the NFL of his deep passes being turnover-worthy. And they're still caught by the receivers. But yeah. TD, what days are you going to training camp? Hopefully all of them. Is it a turnover, TD? No, it was. No, it's not. But when it is, what do y'all have to say about it? See, that's part of the problem with people trying to analyze the game of football. That's part of the problem. If somebody throws the ball in quadruple coverage and some miraculous catch happens, we're saying all is good. But then the next 4 times they throw it in quadruple coverage and it's intercepted, you're like, why would he even do that? You know why? Because you praise him when it works. And at the end of the day, when it don't work more than it worked, now you want to have a problem. These behaviors are not good behaviors. Just because they work out sometimes, you cannot overlook the behavior. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't there. And if nobody was open, it's 3rd and 10, take the shot. I get it. I don't know the circumstance. I'm just saying, you just go, man, just go look at every Tua Tagovailoa interception. He is the only player in the NFL that don't have the interceptions that's like tipped in the air and got picked, like bounced off somebody's head, or, the wide receiver bobbled it and got picked. Like, for some reason, he's the only quarterback in the NFL that don't have the normal picks. The receiver bobbled it and it got picked. I was tipped in the air and got picked. He don't have none of those. All of his are just straight up throwing it to the defender when he shouldn't have. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, at least half your picks are supposed to be the it happens. None of his are the it happens. You can't do that. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Man, tell me I'm wrong in that regard. Somebody gonna be in the comment section. You're wrong. All right. Oh, man. It's crazy to me, man. I promise you. But y'all ignore that type of stuff. And then when the end result ends the way it does, when we have a Green Bay type game, you have a Chargers type game, we just sit there and we're shocked. Like, something was wrong. It had to be this or that. Like, something was wrong. It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, dude, you just ignore when it works for him. I mean, go look at the Baltimore game. He threw 2 in the first half that were just horrible. And then in the second half, Tyreek snatched 2 away that should have been. And that was the game right there. Tyreek made 2 big plays in that game that should have been picked as well. But they weren't. So, yeah, man. Tua throws a catchable ball. Then why did Pittsburgh drop 7 interceptions? I ain't gonna say they dropped 7 interceptions, but I remember the Pittsburgh game. About 3. I ain't saying it was 7 now. 3 incomplete passes, but we want to harp on this. Do you understand that in 11-on-11s there was only like 20 plays today for Tua? Yeah, you see, this is where you got to understand numbers and statistics, and it's just funny how narratives can be placed. If you come out to practice, right, and you throw the ball 250 times, like in 11-on-11s, hypothetically, right, and you have well, just say you throw it 150 times and you have 14 incompletions, right? You threw it 150 times and you have 14 incompletions. Nobody's going to talk about that because there was 14 incompletions. But you go to practice and you throw it 20 times and you have 3 incompletions. Everybody want to talk about 3 incompletions, how great that was. Well, guess what? The completion percentage was higher on 150 passes with 14 incompletions. That was actually better. 150 passes with 14 incompletions was actually better. But we want to highlight today on 20 passes, 3 incompletions. And what I was told about the 3 incompletions, 10 of the completions were less than 10 yards in the flat. Alec Ingold had a really good day today. I was told Alec Ingold really made some, he caught the ball out of the flats and made some moves today. But narrative is how you frame it that can make it look great or bad. But I'll be there at training camp to give you the real scoop with the context of everything. What's wrong with that, TD? Nothing, but we're sitting like all quarterbacks in the NFL, if you're going to throw 20 passes and 10 of them going to be right in the flat, a lot of them going to have 3 incompletions. A lot of them are going to have 3 incompletions, bro. It's nothing special. We're making it out to be. G Firm in the house, he said, "What's good, brother? Appreciate the donation, my guy. But I'm great, man. But yeah, let's keep it going so I can go ahead and finish this off. All right. Salvin Ahmed had a strong showing at the Dolphins practice. Big gains, both on the ground and through the air. Some of that flat work. Devon A-Chain also had an active day. Ingold, A-Chain, Ahmed, all of them was eating today. But I don't care about the running game into the pads. Come on. But they were catching that ball out of the backfield a lot today. A whole lot. Okay. Let me see here. Anything else? Oh, Jalen Phillips tweaked an ankle early, but finished practice. So I'm glad he finished practice, but boy, I ain't gonna lie, I got nervous. Said Jalen Phillips tweaked his ankle. Oh, but he went back at practice. Okay, still a little bothered by it, but okay. Boy, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, no, don't start this mess. No. Oh man, boy, that took me for a loop. And boy, I'm glad he finished practice, but you know, they probably gonna still they probably gonna just cater to him tomorrow, let him chill a little, or make sure he good. They better. All right. Daniel Iafusi tweeted, first Dolphins training camp practice just ended. Fairly uneventful, but a good back and forth. Play of the day was an acrobatic bobble reception by Jalen Waddle on a pass from Tua along the sideline, traveled about 40 yards, and Waddle twisted around to get it. That's good. Let me see if I'm missing anything. I think that was. Hold on, give me 1 second. Missing anything else? All right. We already touched the Connor and Tyreek. All right. So here were some of Omar Kelly's day one observations. Guy who was actually there. Let me see here. Highlights, lowlights, and observations from the first practice day one of Miami Dolphins. As expected, every player on the roster took part. We already know about the injuries. Edge defender Jalen Phillips came up limping, but finished practice. Jalen Waddle had the highlight. We already talked about that. Javon Holland first got his hand on the ball. Another highlight play came when X broke up a mid-range sideline pass for Tua intended for Tyreek. That was the only matchup between one of the Dolphins star receivers and against one of the elite cornerbacks. So they ain't even really playing against each other much. Rookie cornerback Cam Smith. This is a beautiful one, y'all. I got to write down Cam Smith. Cam Smith. We got to keep an eye on him because he can help our future. If he can turn out to be a dog and be great so that we can replace Xavier Howard eventually and save some money, now we're trending back into recoverable territory for the long term. That's something I'm very passionate about getting our books in order to where we're going to be all right long term. And players like Cam Smith, breakout by Austin Jackson, Channing Tindall, maybe, those are the guys that can make that happen to where we're straight in the future. Because if those guys don't work out, man, we're not going to have as good of a team 2 years from now that we have now. It's just not possible. I don't care what you do in the draft and free agency. All right. Yeah, but rookie cornerback Cam Smith continued the good work he showed in the offseason with some good coverage on a couple of passes and team sessions, and might have had an interception if not for wide receiver Braylon Sanders playing DB and breaking up the play. That was the one from our quarterback, by the way. One of his nice plays in coverage came against Waddle. Fullback Alec Ingle was among the best performers of the day with a couple of catches and a great stuff block against Bradley Chubb in pass protection. So my guy was right. Fullback Alec Ingle with a couple of nice catches. And you know he ain't out there going 20, 30, and 40 yards on every play. You know where that's at. Chubb did have a couple of nice plays in run defense. This was a relatively short practice, not uncommon for the first practice of camp. Tua's best pass came in 7-on-7 when he threw a dart to Waddle at the numbers on the left side. Hill, Waddle, and rookie tight end Julian Hill each dropped the pass. So we had 3 drops today as well. Rookie running back A-Chain got a lot of work with a few carries and a couple of outlet catches in the, behind the line of scrimmage in the flat, like I told you. Zeeler would have had a coverage sack on a play where Alec Ingle blocked Chubb. Zeeler tipped a Tua pass at the line of scrimmage to cause an incompletion. That's 2 nice plays by Zeeler. One would have been a sack. The other tapped the ball from Tua to cause an incompletion. All right. Braxton Berrios came up with a nice low catch when he got down on the ground to grab a pass from Mike White some 15 yards downfield, a low ball. The backups got to be better. So Berrios made an excellent catch to bail Mike White out. Same thing with Skylar Thompson. They said Skylar Thompson had a completion of about 20 to 25 yards to Tyreek Hill in the middle of the field after Hill came back for it. Short pass, underthrown. The receivers keep having to come back. On the last play of practice, River Craycraft fumbled after catching a pass from Mike White, and it was recovered by rookie free agent Aubrey Miller Jr. Those were your observations in camp. And now the stock up, stock down, real quick. We already know what the top play of the day was. So top performers of the day. Offensive tackle Kendall Lamb. Basically, it was said that if you didn't know Armstead wasn't out there, you wouldn't have knew today because Kendall Lamb held his own. Again, training camp with no pads on, it's always hard to tell. But listen, I got to see Kendall Lamb play some meaningful snaps in the regular season before I give any credit because we know how this goes. Okay, but it's good to be recognized in training camp that you are playing well with the current circumstance. I like that. All right. Tailback Salvin Ahmed, stock is up. A forgotten man in the backfield. He flashed during the non-padded practices with some chunk runs. And then we could potentially see him push for playing time and solidify his spot on the 53-man roster. Nice to see. And third player of the day was Alec Ingold. We already touched on everything he did. So 2 running backs and a left tackle were the stars of the day. All right. Stock down. Only one player stock was down. Oh, it had to be him. God. Gosh, man, we need this guy to turn out to be good. And he just, like I said, I keep telling y'all, man. Oh, he was a rookie last year. Get a man a chance. No, you don't understand. They literally ignored this man last year. If they like you and you're a valuable rookie, you get more snaps than you got. He was our first draft pick last year, man. Gosh. I keep waiting for Channing Tindall, a 2022 third-round selection, to make plays that show there's some upside. But it's been a long wait. Because there are only 5 inside linebackers on the roster, he got plenty of opportunity to impress on day one. And the only thing that stood out to me was how slow his reaction time was, Lord, and how many false steps he took. One of my contemporaries made an excellent point about Tindall that I love to take credit for, but can't. He said if Tindall were drafted third round, 3 rounds lower, he wouldn't still be on the roster. The former Georgia starter needs to pick it up. Wow, that is a great point. If he was drafted in the 6th round, he would have got cut last year. That's revealing. If he was a 6th round pick last year, he would have got cut, but he was a 3rd round pick. You got to at least give him 2, maybe even 3 years to see. Or they may cut ties this year. And I've been telling y'all this even last year. Shannon ain't doing nothing. Oh, he a rookie, man. You being unnecessarily, bro. At the end of the day, you at least get some favor with a coach. Look at Craig Kraft. That's the type of favor you at least get. Bro, Hunter Long got more shake than this man, I believe. I told y'all, David Long is the guy, and it is what it is. Last but not least, and I'm out of here. Something was said yesterday by Xavier Howard, which also proves what I've been telling y'all, man. First of all, I told y'all Deshaun Elliott is here to take that safety position, right? Away from who? Brandon Jones. And what did I tell you about Brandon Jones? He hasn't been good at all. He's just a blitzer. Flores made him look good because the scheme. And what did Xavier Howard say yesterday? We call Brandon Jones Blitz Boy. The defense calls him Blitz Boy. Where you think he got that name from? Why would they call him Blitz Boy? And then just call him Blitz Boy. To me, that's a knock more than a, hey, Blitz Boy. No, that's a knock to me. They don't look at it that way because he benefits in the blitz. But that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Brandon Jones, well, Brandon Jones good, TD. Now you hating on Brandon Jones. No, he can't. He ain't been a good cover. He can't cover. You got to sit him in the box to go after the quarterback. He's like very specific. I'm telling y'all now, if I'm an offense going up against the Dolphins and I see Brandon Jones at safety, I'm either attacking him or I know a blitz is coming. Alert, alert. I'm calling his number. Pick him up on the blitz. And if he ain't blitzing, burn him. Crosser. Ain't nobody overreacting, Molly. It's the truth. I'm passionate about it because I keep trying to explain this to people and they, oh, what are you talking about? Brandon Jones ain't been good. We just got excited the first few years because, oh, Brandon Jones with the sack. Oh, Brandon Jones be eating. Yeah, because of the scheme of Flores. And go look at when Brandon Jones was eating. He never beat a offensive lineman or a running back to get to the quarterback. He was just always the free rusher. Because in the zero, somebody comes free, and it's typically the safety off the edge because he's furthest away from the quarterback. He's the free guy. More than 90% of his blitzes that he was successful, nobody touched him. I've been telling y'all that, man. Time will tell, man. But yeah, man, they call him, man, Blitz Boy. Time will tell, Molly. He entering year 3. Time will tell, all right? But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your training camp update for day 1. Short practices, not much to talk about. So hey, they went out, they started to work. It ain't nothing to make an indictment on one way or another. I guess the only person that's a concern right now is Channing Tindall. Everything else, let's let it play out. Let's let it play out. All right. So back at it tomorrow. Same thing. Soon as it drops, I'll hit it. But I can't wait for this weekend when the fans can show up and I can go ahead and give y'all real play-by-play coverage of what's happening in training camp live from training camp. All right. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Hit the like button on your way out. Again, if you want to contribute to me potentially going to the Houston Texans joint practices in Houston, the Cash App link is below. $TDPHINSTALK. Drop the love and I'll do my best to get out there if I get enough. Other than that, I'll probably just be giving the regular updates. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Peace. I am out. I'll see y'all later. We're going to continue that QB annual. We're going to get to some of the some more good stuff in the QB annual. So turn your notifications on. Love y'all. See you soon.